Hello and welcome to Select 10. This is the sixth part of our new Hollywood movies video series, and we have selected some of the most amazing new movies that have just been released on Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Disney+. We have picked movies from various genres to present you with a wide range of new movies, so watch the entire video to avoid missing any film from the list. Now let's start the video. Number 10. Who Invited Them? It is a horror thriller film directed by Duncan Birmingham. The film follows Adam and Margot, who have recently relocated to a beautiful new home in the mountains, where everything appears to be going well for the pair as they throw a celebration party. Their inauguration party went off without a hitch, apart from this particular unusual couple, who stayed after all the other visitors had gone home. The strange couple present themselves to be their rich and powerful neighbors, but as one glass of wine follows another, Margot and Adam begin to wonder whether their new friends are just deceitful individuals harboring a sinister agenda. What begins as a somewhat awkward and unusual housewarming party ends up being a really entertaining evening, but then the enjoyment ends and the horror starts. However, both before and following the horror event, you will be pleasantly surprised. This is not the perfect horror film, but it is a fine choice for a movie night. And the film has a 5.5 rating on IMDb and a 60% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 9. Breaking. It is a 2022 thriller drama film directed by Abi Damrus Corbin. The plot centers on Brian Brown Easley, a former Marine who experiences emotional issues that drives him to extraordinary length. In the midst of his service in the war, he was diagnosed with PTSD and encountered money problems while surviving on a monthly disability pension given by the Department of Veteran Affairs. But the problem began when he didn't get his most recent paycheck, which put his future in danger since his mortgage was overdue, and when he appealed for help from Veterans Affairs, he was turned down. With no other options left, and in severe financial circumstances, Brian holds a bank and many of its staff captive, establishing a heated encounter with the police. It is a painful real story about the deceased military veteran in financial difficulties and his desperate attempt to be acknowledged to receive his assigned $892 payment in order to keep surviving. The film delivers an engaging drama with a strong message that will get you thinking. And the movie has a 6.2 rating on IMDb and an 84% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 8. Vengeance. It is a 2022 comedy drama film directed by B.J. Novak. The story centers on New York City author Ben Manalowitz, who is trying to investigate the killing of a woman he had a date with. In pursuit of this, he makes his way to the countryside to look into the details of her murder and learn what happened. The humor was perfect, the satire was insightful and innovative, the acting was fantastic, and the plot was surprisingly good. Overall, Vengeance is an incredibly humorous and thought-provoking movie with clever twists and turns, as well as a surprising climax you won't see coming. This movie is a surprise for its low budget and is well worth seeing. And it has a 6.8 rating on IMDb and an 86% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 7. Bandit. It is a biographical crime film directed by Alan Ungar. The film follows Gilbert Galvin Jr., an attractive convicted criminal who flees from a U.S. jail in Michigan and travels across the border into Canada, where he creates the identity of Robert Whiteman and proceeds on to heist 59 banks in a sequence, breaking the Canadian record for the most burglaries done in a row. Driven by the adrenaline and money that his secret life brings, Robert decides to turn to moneylender and renowned gangster Tommy Kaye for more and larger possibilities. But as Robert's fame grows, he comes under the suspicion of a merciless investigator who will stop at nothing to knock him down. Bandit is nearly 2 hours long, but the mix of action and story is so good that it's easy to lose track of what's going on. But all things considered, it's an above-average crime thriller with just enough action to keep you interested. And the movie has a 6.2 rating on IMDb and a 95% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 6. Emily the Criminal. It is a 2022 crime drama film directed by John Patton Ford. The plot centers on Emily, who is burdened with student loans and unable to get employment because of a little criminal background. Short of money, she takes an illegal job as a dummy buyer, shopping for dangerous goods and items with fraudulent credit cards provided by Yusuf, an attractive and seductive broker. While Emily, on the other hand, gets quickly attracted by the easy money and criminal pleasures of black market business, and she becomes even more attracted to her boss, Yusuf. Together, they come up with a strategy to expand their organization in Los Angeles, which has terrible consequences. While the plot is predictable, Aubrey Plaza gave a fantastic performance. It is a well-acted, unusual, and an odd film, so I suggest this exclusively to crime drama fans. And the movie has a 6.7 rating on IMDb and a 79% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 5. Thor: Love and Thunder. It is a 2022 superhero action-adventure film directed by Taika Waititi. The story takes place after the events of Avengers Endgame and follows Thor, who is on a trip unlike any he's ever experienced, a search for spiritual enlightenment. However, his retirement is cut short by a cosmic killer called Gore the God Butcher, who wants the extermination of the gods. To battle the danger, Thor assembles the support of Queen Valkyrie, Korg, and his former girlfriend, Jane Foster, who, to Thor's amazement, carries his enchanted weapon, Mjolnir, as the mighty Thor. Together, they set out on a perilous intergalactic mission to unravel the truth behind the God Butcher's retaliation and put an end to his reign before it's too late. This one might not be a bad film, but it had the potential to be spectacular, especially with gore in the frame, but the movie is strictly decent. However, if you are a fan of the MCU, you might enjoy this one because of Chris Hemsworth and a few action sequences. And the movie has a 6.4 rating on IMDb and a 77% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 4. Fall. It is a 2022 survival thriller film directed by Scott Mann. The plot centers on Becky and Hunter, two best friends whose lives revolve around overcoming obstacles and pushing boundaries. However, after climbing 2,000 feet to the peak of a lonely deserted radio tower, they discover that there is no way back down, trapping them isolated. As they desperately struggle to survive the environment, a lack of resources, and frightening altitudes, Becky and Hunter's professional mountaineering abilities will be pushed to the extreme test in order to securely climb down. They must gather every bit of bravery and strength to come up with a strategy for a safe return to the country or die trying. From the acting to the cinematography and the dramatic music makes Fall a noteworthy record in surpassing imagination, bringing our deepest fears to reality. It is a thrilling survival adventure with an intense story that will keep you glued to your seat. And the movie has a 6.4 rating on IMDb and a 79% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 3. 3,000 Years of Longing. It is a 2022 fantasy romantic drama film directed by George Miller. The plot revolves around Dr. Alithia Binney, who is attending a meeting in Istanbul when she comes across a djinn who gives her 3 wishes in return for his freedom. However, there are 2 issues with this. First, she doesn't believe he is genuine, and second, she is aware of all the scary stories of wishes gone horribly wrong, as she is a specialist in literature and folklore. While the djinn argues his point by narrating the exotic adventures of his origins to her, and ultimately she is tempted and grants a wish that shocks them both. The film was extremely fantastic. It is a fresh content with a unique concept, great visuals, and the execution of the film is all excellent. I highly recommend this to you if you enjoy stories with mystical elements and stories that make you think about the concepts discussed. And the movie has a 6.8 rating on IMDb and a 73% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 2. Where the Crawdads Sing. It is a 2022 mystery thriller based on the 2018 novel of the same name by Delia Owens. The story centers around Kaya, an orphan girl who nurtured herself to maturity in North Carolina's treacherous swamplands. For years, Kaya has been cut off from her parents and the community because they despise her and spread rumors about the mysterious marsh girl. When Kaya finds herself attracted to 2 new local guys, she enters a new and unfamiliar environment, but when one of them is later found murdered, the town instantly names her as the potential suspect. As the case progresses, the judgment on what actually occurred grows incredibly blurry, exposing the numerous secrets hidden inside the marshland. First and foremost, this movie serves as proof that we should not always believe the ratings. Although Where the Crawdads Sing isn't a perfect movie, it will leave you craving more because of its well-paced story and heartwarming scenes. Every picture appears to be a masterpiece, all thanks to magnificent cinematography, set design, and special effects. And the movie has a 7.1 rating on IMDb and a 96% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 1. Athena. It is a 2022 French action film directed by Romain Gavras. The film is set in a French suburbs and centers on the disturbance that breaks out in the Athena community after a little child named Ider is brutally murdered by the police. The main focus of the story is on the boy's older siblings, who are situated on opposing sides of the political scale. While Abdul, the older brother, is a military hero, Kareem, the younger brother, sees him just as a criminal. On the other hand, Kareem has emerged as a sort of heroic figure during the uprisings that have broken out all over France in vengeance for his brother's murder, and he claims that Abdul should have been the person who actually deserved to die. Athena can only be described as a crazy, or should I say insane madness. It takes you by the neck and won't let you go for 90 minutes. It's a Greek tragic drama, a scriptural tale about brotherhood, and the most visually striking action movie of recent times. And the movie has a 6.9 rating on IMDb and an 82% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.